I'm Cathy O'Shia with New Age Industrial. Today we're going to be talking to Phil Gottstine. He's an engineer with New Age Industrial. He's been with our company 21 years today. So we're going to ask him a few questions and gather a little information about our engineering department. Phil, tell us what got you interested in engineering and how many years you've been involved in engineering.
Well, in high school I was really involved in woodworking and metalworking at school, and just pursued that further when I went to college, and actually was going to be a teacher when I first started and decided to go in the manufacturing route. So my degree required an internship, and I got that through New Age here, and before that internship was up, then I was hired full-time to be an engineer here.
What skills you use or what's necessary to be in the engineering department at New Age Industrial? What do you use?
People skills is probably one of your biggest things. You know, when you think about engineering, you're thinking about designing and drawing and mathematics and things like that, but you really have to have the people skills to be able to talk to the customers, find out what they need, and ask the questions that they might not think of. So as you get the experience, you start to learn those questions that you need to ask so that you can design a better product for them. But as far as actual skills, you know, we use AutoCAD. We use a 3D modeling program called Solid Edge here. And of course you need your mathematics skills to be able to figure things out and do different things like that. But you know, the really important stuff is the people skills and being able to communicate.
Okay, so obviously customization is a huge advantage at New Age. As I said, we do more than 30% of our business is custom. How do you feel, I mean, how would you describe that as an advantage for us?
Well, there's a lot of other companies out there that don't like to do the custom work because you have to have a fairly good sized engineering staff. We have 4 sales engineers or product design engineers on staff, and a lot of companies don't want to invest in that infrastructure to be able to do the customs. And to be honest, our extrusion press is a huge advantage on the customs because we control all the material here on site, as where they have to buy in thousands of pounds of materials to be competitive. We can extrude 60 pounds of something, prototype a cart, send it out to a customer, get approvals on it, and then be able to you know, make those quickly, you know, when they do want to place a larger order.
What type of products do people customize? I always think that's interesting.
It's really anything. When you really think back to the beginning of New Age, we started out just extruding, extrusions for the RV industry and the trailer industry, and quickly found that those products, we couldn't compete with the larger extrusion. So we needed to find something that had a value added to it. And so as soon as somebody comes to you with an idea, that's the first custom item that we did. And we just kept expanding on that from the supermarket industry to food service and then into material handling. We've really expanded our product selection immensely in the 20 years that I've been here. You know, these picking cages behind us, they weren't even thought of 12 years ago, and now we actually build hundreds of them, and it's a standard product now. This was a custom product when it started, and now it's a standard product in our material handling catalog.
If a customer wants to customize a product, we make it pretty easy. Tell me how they do that.
Yeah, so basically they just need to get us the information on what they want to, if there's an existing product out there they want to change, we just need to know the changes, usually pretty simple.
If they want to take a bun pan rack and
make different spaces, yeah. That's a pretty easy process. We can usually turn a quote around in 24 to 48 hours on something like that. When you get into customizing a big cage like this, depending on the complexity of the changes, we're still going to get it back to you in 2 to 3 days and get you a quote on it, and then possibly a drawing. Once we get an order, we're going to do a drawing for approval, and they're going to sign off on that drawing, and then we're going to go into production. To give you an example, right now we're at 46 working days on custom items, which is actually one of the longer lead times we've had since I've started here. Post-pandemic, we've started getting a lot of orders, and you know, we're starting to reel those back in. I think we were as high as 50 days at one time, but we like to get them back down to around 30 days.
Why is the engineering department so important in the overall process?
Well, like I kind of alluded to earlier, the experience that we have. If we're working on a picking cart, we're going to have ideas and different solutions that the customer might not have thought of because we've built a couple hundred different picking carts over the years. And then we can lend that information to them and let them make a decision on what they might want. And then we can incorporate that in their cart and try to help them to get the process done quicker and with less money. Because sometimes people might do a prototype and then get the cart and test it and say, oh, well, we just want to make a few more changes. Well, if we can help them make those changes beforehand and get them something that's more 95% where they're at, then we can make those smaller changes before we go into a production run.
Why do you think New Age industry sets itself apart from our competitors? Why do you think we're better, or why do we, what advantage do we provide?
Well, I think a lot of it is our culture here with our employees. We just had our Christmas party last week, and we celebrated 4 employees that have been here 35 years. We have a number of employees that have been here 40 plus, and several that have been here 25 to 30. And it's that culture that gets passed down to the younger employees that start here, that they take pride in what they do. They want to make a nice product. And when you get into some of the bigger cities, I don't think they have the work ethic, and they just don't care as much about what they're doing as the employees we have here. They really take pride in what they produce, and they love to see it out in the field. When they do travel abroad and get to see a New Age product, we'll oftentimes get pictures sent back of, a 1331 at a convenience store, or a Texas Roadhouse might have a wall shelf that you see out in the front. So they take pride in seeing that stuff, and they say, hey, I built that. So it's really cool to see. And my family always gets on to me because I'm always looking over the deli counter and trying to see products that I know Olive Garden makes stuff that's in the back room, and I don't often get to see it. But you know that you have stuff there that's yours, and it just makes you feel good to know that you're making something.
What's the most unique product you've ever designed, you think?
Probably one of the most unique was what we called a stow cart, and we made it for a large online distributor, nationally known distributor. But we were able to use the extrusion press to make several extrusions to make the cart work the way they wanted to. They wanted a 3-sided cart, but they wanted it to be done cheaply. So we came up with a material called coroplast that's used in the sign industry, and we were able to incorporate the coroplast into the cart and make extrusions that help capture that material. And then over about a 3-year period, we made about 15,000 of those carts. So it was neat to see. You'd come back to shipping area, and there'd be a couple hundred carts back here getting casters on it, getting the coroplast installed, getting them stacked up, and then we were shipping 2-3 truckloads a day. And we did that for literally 2.5 years.
What does Made in the USA mean to you? As a Made in the USA company, it's very important to us, but what does it mean to you?
To me, it's just a sense of pride. You hear complaints all the time about imported products and how inferior they can be. So when they put the Made in the USA sticker on our product, I think all of the guys take a little pride in putting that on, and we always have the American flag, that goes right on there. It says Made in the USA, and it's just a sense of pride to know that we're still able to manufacture here in Norton, Kansas, and be competitive and be a company that means something, and it's just pride.
What else would you like to tell us about New Age, or about your experience in the engineering department, or what you think we should know?
Well, like I said before, it's just the people that we work with. We're all like family. Yeah, we get mad at each other at times. We love each other. We take care of each other when somebody's down. The owners are great about helping out, and They're always involved. They're right here on site. So if you have problems or questions or anything, the owners are going to help take care of it. And the owners are so willing to invest in equipment to make the company better. So many times you see companies that just want to squeak by with everything they have, and try to put that money in their pocket. And the new age owners have always been very good at investing in new equipment and new things to help us continue to get better and better and grow. And that there's something going forward, and it's not going to just die out because they care about not only the company itself, but the employees.
Well, Phil, thank you very much. We appreciate your time, and thanks for telling us about the engineering department.
Yep, no problem. Thank you.